Thousands of kilometers from where it was forged, a small, heavily oxidized piece of bronze rests in a collector's hands. It is a single-unit Khmer coin, remarkably quiet in this modern room, entirely divorced from its original context. History is traditionally measured by the reigns of kings and the scale of their stone monuments. These structures represent the peak of royal authority, while the day-to-day mechanics of the empire remained in motion far below. You are plunged instantly into the deafening, vibrant chaos of the 12th century Khmer Empire at its peak. The capital at this moment is a sprawl of staggering ambition. Its footprint covers an area nearly the size of modern Los Angeles, defined by immense artificial lakes, broad causeways, and a network of stone sanctuaries. The God Kings commanded this vast infrastructure with absolute authority. They mandated the carving of their own serene faces into the very architecture, seemingly locking their power into the bedrock for centuries. To see how this society actually functioned, we have to look away from the faces staring down from the towers. We must follow the path of a single, newly minted bronze coin, making its way through the crowds below. The coin begins its life in a sensory overload. It first drops into the calloused hand of a market woman, surrounded by the sharp scent of fish paste and bright silk textiles. Its stay there is brief. Within minutes, she trades it for rice, dropping the coin into the palm of a temple mason coated in gray sandstone dust. For that mason, the king's massive architectural visions mean grueling, endless labor. He spends his days hauling massive stone blocks under a punishing equatorial sun. Among laborers like him, the religious landscape is shifting. They are slowly adopting the Buddhist teachings of Anicca, the core philosophy that all things, no matter how solid they appear, are in a state of constant change. This map of the Khmer Empire outlines the infrastructure feeding the labor force. To sustain temple construction, resources funnel through massive inland routes. Tens of thousands of tiny commercial handoffs, farmers paying boatmen, merchants buying from weavers, push food towards the center. The heavy, permanent stone architecture at the center of the empire exists solely because of this fragile, fleeting chain of daily commerce. Months later, the coin travels outward along these arteries. It reaches the empire's aquatic periphery, ending up in the wooden skiff of a boatman who harvests resin from the surrounding flooded forests. From the boatman, it passes through a series of quiet local trades. Eventually, a merchant trades the bronze piece to a traveling pilgrim for a freshly cut lotus flower. The pilgrim carries that flower to a nearby shrine as an offering. Here, the hum of Hindu priests has been replaced by the steady chanting of Buddhist monks, reinforcing the message of impermanence. The cycle eventually accelerates. A slow, creeping environmental vulnerability gradually replaced the city's central stability, eroding the system from within over several decades. Unpredictable and intensely violent monsoon seasons arrive, severely battering the region and permanently damaging the fragile agricultural systems. As the complex reservoirs and spillways fail, global maritime trade routes also begin to shift. New shipping paths emerge along the coast, completely bypassing the old central city. The city's lifeblood drained away as the population migrated. People followed the changing flow of water and trade, taking their daily commerce with them and leaving the capital to the jungle. In the midst of this quiet exodus, the coin reaches its end in a mundane moment. Slipping through a frayed seam in a weary traveler's pouch, it falls silently into the thick monsoon mud. Above the buried coin, centuries pass. Without the daily labor of millions to maintain them, the temples are swallowed whole. Immense tree roots pry apart the heavy sandstone blocks, proving the monks right about the nature of all things. The living, vibrant memory of the vast metropolis eventually faded. To the outside world, the Khmer Empire became a myth, a set of romanticized rumors about a lost city waiting in the jungle. The absolute power of the God Kings vanished. Their statues were decapitated by time and looters, erasing their individual identities and rendering their demands for eternal legacy meaningless. But deep in the dart, the tiny bronze coin waited. Now unearthed and sitting in a modern collector's room, it is one of the few physical objects from that era that survived the Earth. The monuments remain an illusion of permanence. A civilization's enduring legacy persists in the surviving evidence of the everyday, ordinary people who once animated it.